Hello, everyone, and welcome to another weekly inspiration. And today's topic is gratitude for myself. And today, let me start with a question. When was the last time you truly said thank you? Not to someone else, but to yourself. Not for something big, not for an achievement, not for something other noticed, but for simply showing up on a day that felt heavy, in a moment where no one was watching, when it would have been easier to shut down. And most people can immediately list things they appreciate about others. But when it comes to themselves, there's often silence or even discomfort. And today we gently change that. And because if I told you that one of the most powerful ways to heal your nervous system, to build self-trust and to feel more connected within yourself is not doing more, but recognizing what is already there. But before we go deeper, arrive with me here. Take a slow, deep breath in and let it go. And again, inhale and exhale slowly. Nothing to fix, nothing to improve, nothing to prove. Just you meeting yourself. Just you meeting yourself right here. And over the past weeks in the weekly inspiration, we explored self-compassion, your inner voice and how you relate to yourself in everyday moments. And now we arrive at something very simple and yet deeply transformative: gratitude for yourself. Not the kind of gratitude that comes from pressure or from trying to be positive, but a quiet, honest acknowledgement. I see myself. I recognize what I'm doing. I'm with me. And because here's what happens. So when you constantly overlook your own effort, your system stays in a subtle state of not enough. But the moment you begin to acknowledge yourself, even in the smallest way, your body receives a completely different message. I am safe to be seen. I'm enough in this moment. I can trust myself. And this is where inner connection begins. So when I thank myself, I strengthen my inner connection. Let that land for a moment. And I say it again. When I thank myself, I strengthen my inner connection. And gratitude is not just a nice idea. It's a shift in attention from what is missing to what is already here, from self-judgment to self-reflection. And here's the truth most people miss. Your life is not built in the big moments. It's built in the small, invisible ones. The breath you took instead of reacting. The moment you kept going when it was hard. The time you said no, even though it felt uncomfortable. The moment you allowed yourself to feel instead of pushing away. And these moments matter. But if no one ever acknowledged them, especially not you, your system doesn't register them as safety or success. So it keeps searching. It keeps striving. It keeps feeling like it's not enough. But gratitude interrupts this pattern. And it tells your nervous system, we are doing okay. I see you. You are not alone in this. And something begins to soften. Not because life suddenly changes, but because your relationship with yourself does. And now let's be real for a moment. For many people, this is not easy. You might notice thoughts like, I didn't do any special. This doesn't count. I should have done more. I don't deserve that. And if that's there, that's okay. Because this is exactly the part of you that learned to measure your worth based on performance, expectations, or comparison. So of course it feels unfamiliar to suddenly say, thank you, just for being me. But this practice is not about ignoring your challenges. It's not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about including yourself in the appreciation you so freely give to others. So let's experience this together. Take a moment and gently bring your attention inward. Maybe place one hand on your heart or simply soften your body, relaxing in the chair or wherever you are right now. And now ask yourself slowly, what can I thank myself for today? And don't rush it. Let something simple come up. Maybe you got out of bed even though it was hard. You had a difficult conversation. You took a breath instead of reacting. You allowed yourself to rest. You protected your energy. You showed up here right now, or something completely different. Choose one thing. And now say it, silently or out loud. Thank you. You put your name for what you are thankful for. Thank you, Gabi, that you got out of bed even though it was hard. Take a breath. And again, thank you, Gabi, for getting out of the bed even it was hard. Now pause and notice. Not in your mind, in your body. What shifts even just a little? Because even one moment of recognition creates connection. And connection creates safety. So now imagine what would change if you stop waiting for others to acknowledge you and starting becoming the person who sees yourself. Not only on your best days, but especially on the hard ones. And this is how self-trust is built, not through perfection, but through presence. Not through achievement, but through acknowledgement. And for this week, I invite you into something very simple. At the end of each day, ask yourself, what can I thank myself for today? Not as a task, not as something to do perfectly, but as a moment of connection, even if it's just one small thing. And if you feel called, share it in the comments or with someone you trust. What are you grateful to yourself for today? And through sharing, others get ideas what you really can be thankful for. And thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up. And maybe today you begin to thank yourself too. Have a wonderful week.